Let's now bring you the very latest in the world of business. The JSE is heading for another rough ride today, given the weaker trading session in Asia. The local index, which is largely dominated by multinational companies, is poised for its worst monthly performance since June. Rella Suskin, head of research at Benguela Global Fund Managers, joins us now for an assessment of the latest market developments. A very good morning to you, Rella. Thank you for your time. Give us an overview of the latest market moves so far in early trade. Is the rand still in volatile territory?
Morning. Yeah, our markets actually opened up in the positive, but that's largely been driven by the commodity sector. I think the biggest news in the commodity sector that came out yesterday is the London Metals Exchange is looking to ban the use of Russian metals, which really talks to the PGM sector, and that's really lifting the PGM miners. In terms of the rand, I think we will continue to see some volatility for some time. First of all, there's the uncertainty coming from Europe and Russia. There's increasing threats of use of nuclear, and so there's this automatic flight to safety, which strengthens the dollar versus the rand. We've also seen the Fed increase rates hikes faster than that of our Reserve Bank, so that automatically again gives favor to the dollar over the rand.
Now, commodity markets are fairly mixed in early trade, with Brent crude easing to $88.34 per barrel, platinum edging up and gold holding steady but on track for a quarterly decline. Talk to us about some of the factors driving those moves.
Yeah, so firstly, this morning, we got some Chinese data. So Pmi data came out this morning. There's two sets of data. There's data that reflects activity in the public sector in China, and then data that reflects private activity. In terms of the public sector, manufacturing sector, we saw an improvement that actually beat expectations in that PMI number, which really shows that the government is trying to support growth in the economy after their COVID lockdowns. But then looking at the private sector, there was quite a disappointment in the number, and it came out below 50, which means the private sector manufacturing activity is actually declining. And we know that China is a sort of a leader in demand for commodities, and so that's definitely having a negative impact on some commodities, including oil. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the impact of a possible ban on the trading of metals coming from Russia has had a positive effect on the likes of your platinum and palladium, which are sourced, a large portion of them are sourced from Russia.
And the Public Investment Corporation increased its assets under management by almost 10% to 2.548 trillion rand in the 2021-22 financial year. What do they attribute this increase to?
Yeah, so their biggest gain was in the listed space. They saw a gain of over R1 billion rand from listed investments. It does make up the vast majority of the portfolio, about 87% of the portfolio in listed equity. The unlisted side, unfortunately, saw a decline. So most of the unlisted portfolio is in property, and property is very much linked to economic activity in the country, which we know has been subdued. But they do have developmental goals really in the property sector. So things like student accommodation, they're going to continue investing into to support economic growth.
And Netcare has published its voluntary update. Help us make sense of some of those numbers.
Yeah, so I think overall it was a bit of a disappointment. They're expecting revenue up between 2 and 3%. EBITDA margins, excluding some of the strategic initiatives that they are implementing, between 16 and 17.5%, which I think is a bit lower than expectations. Simply they are seeing definitely a recovery over the low COVID base. So there's more people in hospitals, but the services that people are using in hospitals, they're staying in hospital for shorter amounts of time, and the type of services are sort of lower value services. So that mix change from, obviously COVID cases, people were in the likes of your ICU for long periods of time towards now sort of daily stays, does have a negative impact on revenue.
Very well. Thank you so much for that breakdown. Very latest in the world of business and a market breakdown by Rella Suskin, Head of Research at Benguela Global Fund Managers. Thank you for your time.